I'm Seth. I'm a freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm planning on majoring in international relations here at Tufts.
I'm Tim. I'm also a freshman. I'm from Dedham, Massachusetts, and I'm probably going to try a double major in classics and peace and justice studies.
We were going door to door to try to convince undecided and independent voters to vote for Barack Obama over John McCain.
In New Hampshire in 2000, Al Gore lost by 7,000 votes, and in New Hampshire in 2004, John Kerry only won by 10,000. And so that's a really small number of votes, and every person you can convince counts. Especially since in 2000, I think 22,000 voted for Nader, so if 7,000 of those Nader voters had gone for Gore, Gore would have won and Florida wouldn't have mattered.
You really get the idea here that, especially in such a small state as New Hampshire that is so close, that every vote truly does count. Because you can even change, if you go out there and change 10 people's minds in a day, well, there were 35 of us. That means that if we each changed the minds of 10 people, that's 350 people. And if you keep going up there weekend after weekend, and you can change even 5 people, it starts to add up over time. Because if you start looking down, if you could just change a few votes in each precinct, it could clearly influence the way the state goes. And every vote truly does matter, especially in a swing state.
In New Hampshire, I felt like I got some people who were really receptive to me and some people who really didn't want to hear me at all. For example, one time when I started walking up someone's driveway, they just yelled out, "McCain, McCain," and just wanted me to get away. And then I also ran into a woman who said that she wasn't going to tell me anything, and her grandfather fought for secret ballot rights and stuff like that, so she had no need to tell me anything. But also, I, on that Saturday, talked to one woman in her house. She invited me in for 30 minutes about Obama and his policies, because she had been a Hillary supporter and was starting to like Sarah Palin, mostly because she was a woman. And I was able to convince her so that she started to lean Obama, and she's probably going to vote for Obama now.
I mean, there are definitely students for McCain, but I have a feeling that a vast majority of Tufts students are for Obama. And there are a few who are undecided, but I'd say it's at least 3-1, or maybe even 4-1, Obama over McCain.
Everyone I've met is either pretty much set in being Democrat or set in being Republican, and I haven't really met any people who are undecided. I know one who's planning on not voting just because he doesn't like either candidate, but so I won't be able to convince him either. So
I would consider myself to be, pretty much a progressive, politically active college student. That I'm looking towards. I view the world as something that is right now it's a changing place, and that we need to make sure that we can provide the right type of changes that we need right now. That we can have a commitment to social justice, to economic equality at this point, and promoting fair and free trade around the world at this point, and figuring out how we can do this within a given social context. So I guess I would consider myself as, I define myself as progressive. Which is, to my skills, decently liberal, but I would not consider myself a socialist communist by any means. But a lot of people would, if someone was attacking me from the right, they would try to classify me in those terms. But I would consider myself to be fairly mainstream, maybe for a Democratic college student.
I'd say that for political activism, I have taken most of the opportunities on campus to be politically active. I'm actually a registered independent, so I look at all the issues outside of what the party says about them, and I try to form my own opinion about issues and politicians, though I typically do go pretty far to the left. I have very liberal economic views, I'd say, especially. And also, I do like some of the more liberal politicians like Kucinich and Sanders. So I would consider myself very liberal. Yes.
Wrapping up, I think that it's pretty remarkable that you're both freshmen. We're a month into school, and it seems like you've found really great ways to connect yourselves with political organizations on campus, and you haven't wasted any time getting involved. So how was that for you? How did
And especially, it's crucial. We're 40 days away from the election today. That we need. This is the time right now to get involved. And if not now, when?
And also, I've liked Obama for a while. Ever since I read a Newsweek article on him in 2005, I've been following him and hoping that he would be president. So now, especially, I'm getting more politically involved for him because I'm really hoping that he'll actually get it since he's come so close now.
I feel like everyone who's come to the Obama campaign had like a defining moment. And I went to an Obama event in June 2007 in Montgomery, Ohio, which is a town just outside of Cincinnati. And I was at the time deciding between Obama and Richardson, and I was just going to go to this event. We were holding up signs to honk for Obama just on a major street, lots of cars passing, a Saturday afternoon. And a few people honked, but it's a pretty conservative area, so I didn't expect too many people to honk. But then we had these guys come along in a red pickup truck, and and of course we got them right as they were at a red light. They were the first car there, and they saw our signs, and they're like, well, we're just not going to vote for anyone because you guys are just a bunch of N-word lovers. And we're like, oh my. And then they screamed at us, we're never going to vote for the N-word. I don't want to say it on camera right now. But it's awful that there's so many people like that, and just to encounter such blatant racism for just supporting an African-American male to run for president is ridiculous. And as I started to look into Obama's ideas more, I realized that Obama talks about the fierce urgency of now, and that moment convinced me of the fierce urgency of now.